hands up.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to the Openly Guarded podcast. I am your host, Dimples, and this is a place where we talk about real life, real stories, and real growth. And if I'm giving you business right now, good. That's what I was supposed to be given, because we are talking about my visit to the 2026 Podcast Summit. And it was one of the first events that I went to on some professional stuff. So I just want to share with you my journey, because I had an amazing time and I met some really, really dope people and I learned a ton. So today we're going to be going over why I went, my biggest takeaway, what I learned, and what I'm going to be changing moving forward with Openly Guarded, so I can make it a better conversation for you, a better place for you. And I'm always trying to advance everything that I learn into real life and real time. So without further ado, let's get into my mix. So the reason I originally went is because I want to experience the media world. I want to become a better conversationalist. I want to become a better storyteller. And I want to be better for you guys. I want to be able to give you the best content that I have to offer when it comes to my guests, or telling you stories about me so we get to know each other. My biggest lesson was a lot of different perspectives from a few different people, and we're going to get into that. Number one of the people that I saw on stage first was DDG. When I came, DDG was on stage, and some things that he kind of left me with was people come to see him, or people visit his platform because number one, they're curious. Number two, they're interested. Number three, he has a lot of different titles that he serves. He's a streamer, he's done music, he does skits and comedy, and he also have different people on his platform, and they create music I don't know currently, but they created music in real time, and he was just having a good time being exactly who he was. And the reason why he started is because he came from, poor beginnings, and he wanted to buy his mama a house, and he wanted to have, a better situation for his family. So that's why he originally started. He talked about times where he got discouraged, and he said what keeps him coming back is when he gets on stream, and I'm sorry I was laughing at this, but it's really cool. When he gets on stream, there's always somebody that's like, where you been all day? Or I miss you, or something like that. And it brings him back to, even though he can't control his own narrative when it comes to paparazzi or media or people's perspectives when they get angles or videos of him and they don't know the whole backstory, it's people that really just appreciate his appearance that keep him coming back, which is why his biggest thing was do something that you truly enjoy. Pay attention to the algorithm of the platforms that you want to be on, like who's consistent and who's big, and try to pay attention to repetitive things. Like, what do they consistently do that people enjoy most about them? Because I know when I'm on TikTok, I might scroll and see somebody who does a deep dive on Aretha Franklin, telling me things that I never knew about her, but their true passion is, maybe the violin. And it might not get a lot of views, but people are really enthused about the way that they tell stories. It can draw people in. So I get that a lot of people have different hats that they wear in order to eventually get to the thing that they truly want to do. So if that's you, don't feel bad, because DDG is a huge streamer. I mean, when I think of him, I think about the kind Sanats of the world, that people that have made it on their own terms, doing their own thing. And I feel like it's amazing. So shout out to him for giving up his time and being there and being available to teach people. And when I say it wasn't just young people there were older people there and people of different nationalities. And it felt very moving for me to be there. But his biggest message was like, it's okay to borrow. And to each his own. I'm just giving you his perspective. He says it's okay to borrow. You might want to steal somebody's concept because that's what everybody does. And then put a twist on it and make it your own. But be consistent so you can gain a following. And with that following, you can follow your true passions, whatever they may be. But the most important thing is creating an idea and being really, really, really consistent with that thought process continuously. I mean, like, it really takes a third of you. I mean, like, and that might be an exaggeration, but sometimes that's the way I feel. But if it's something you're passionate about, it really doesn't feel like work. And I know people say that all the time, and you might not be in the place you need to be to feel that same level of reciprocity that they're serving you through a lens or a camera or off a couch or from their level of comfortability. But I'm telling you that I'm still working on my journey and I'm still trying to figure it out. But every day I find something new that keeps me motivated, inspired, and passionate about what I'm learning every day. So I really was messing with his message and I really understood what it was that he was driving at. I'm sure some people probably might have got a little lost because it can seem like a lot when you're navigating multiple platforms at one time, which is why his thing is figure out the ones that you actually like. Find the ones that you actually enjoy, because from there on out, you'll be able to do it on a natural base. Usually when I'm talking to a friend or I'm counseling a friend on something that I feel like there's a market for them to do that thing that they just do every day, naturally, without nobody paying attention. Now, that might be something that they do comfortably without eyes, so it can change when there are eyes. But I want them to understand it should be as simple as something that you do naturally, that you enjoy on your own, that somebody can observe from watching you. And moving on to another speaker that came. E.T. was another speaker that came, and I really enjoyed his measurement on the craft. Some of his points were, this is not a hobby. It's a real path. It's a real career choice. It's something you can really do and make money while you're doing it. So you should take it seriously as you want your money to be consistent, that you should be dedicated and no excuses and really create something that will fit you years from now. Because E.T.'s been on the scene. Shout out to E.T. E.T.'s been on the scene for a long time, and I'm discovering that. I didn't know. My friends actually told me and informed me, like, hey, he's been out here since I was young. And those people are kind of like getting up there now. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. It's a beautiful thing when you can, like I said, leave sand capsules in time and leave a mark in a certain genre of space and look back at it years later and say, that was something that I did that it aged well. I'm so proud of this accomplishment. E.T.'s thing was create an income, and then you can create an influence. And with influence, you can create an impact. So it kind of flows like that. You might get it, you might not get it. His sauce was a little aggressive for my taste, if I can be purely honest, but some people get it that way. I'm sure that I've posted him on my story in the mornings because some motivation with pure intent is motivation. Another thing E.T. touched on was always know your North Star. Always know your reason for whatever it is that you're doing. So even if your genre is not media, even if you following me just because you maybe want to gain confidence or you just want to know what I got going on, appreciate you. But whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is you want to accomplish, that's fine. It's just that you need to understand that there's a level of sacrifice that's going to seem abnormal to other people. And if it is your reason why, whatever your reason why, it makes sense to you, that's good enough. For me, the reason why I created this space, the reason why I want this podcast, and so many other things that I'm going to create as well, is because it's not out there. I heard a good author say once, if there's a genre of material that hasn't been created yet and you feel like it needs to be out there, do it. Because there's going to be an avenue for everything and everybody from all different parts and corners of this world. So never limit yourself and take advantage of every opportunity that you can. I'm sorry. Okay. Another speaker I had the privilege of listening to was actually David Shantz, and he was the conductor of the entire event, and he was the one who had the idea of bringing all of these people together and hosting such a huge event. And I feel like that's an amazing accomplishment for him to have. And for me to be able to come to the 2026 Podcast Summit, I felt really honored. So for me to be able to hear him speak, I was taken aback. And his perspective was consistency and consistently being in conversations all the time. As a podcast host and as somebody who, if you want to be in media, or if you say you're somebody who wants to be in media, you shouldn't limit yourself to having interviews and just interviews. You should constantly be in interview form. And I know it can sound tricky. It's like, I'm home with my mom, or I'm at the house with my dad, or I'm just kicking it with my old lady. You know, there's a format that you can use, and you can always just find the comfortability of the person that you're with and say, hey, do you mind if we just practice? You know, practice to me always makes perfect. I'm somebody who eventually wants to be an actress and a few other things. So practice to me will always make perfect. And even if you're practicing for something like a podcast, there's still a write-up, there's still roles, and there's still roles that we all must play. As a host, we have to know when to speak, when to not speak, what questions to ask in order to get the best type of interviews, which brings me to the next point that David has, which was, how do you get more out of your guests during an interview? Are you doing the proper research to get the most enchanting questions or get the most out of your guest while they're with you? And this being the third year for the Podcast Summit, I'm greatly honored that I've been able to attend the 2026 Podcast Summit because it was my first time, and I got to learn so much, and I got to experience so many different amazing people. Shout out to Upscale Magazine in the house. Yeah, so it was great. It was a breath of fresh air. It was fresh content creators and designers and people who had their own podcasts and different campaigns going on that I would love to continuously be informed about. So it was just a great experience for me. And I actually, I would employ anybody, any of us who are interested in knowing about a world we have yet to be a part of, to try to go to an event and look them up on Ticketmaster and Google and things of that nature and find out your place in this world, because it's as simple as looking it up, seeing where it's at, figuring out what's near you, and attending, because that's all I did. And it was an amazing experience, and I'm truly grateful for it. So another thing that David was hitting on was give yourself a date. Without dates, we often accomplish less. When you give yourself a date, if I say, hey, I want to have my book 14 out by my birthday, September 27th of 2026, that creates a level of accountability, responsibility, and motivation to, you know, put the pep in my step to move this project forward. So he was saying it's very important to give yourself a date. And he also said that you don't have to agree with your guest in order to be respectful. And I'm somebody who, and I'll get on this in a minute, I actually had the opportunity to interview him. So I'll add a little picture in there for y'all so y'all could check that out. But it was an amazing interview, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to speak to him because he's a very, very, very busy person. Like I said, he orchestrated the entire event. So shout out to him, and shout out to the Podcast Summit of 2026. And the Podcast Summit in general, it was an amazing idea. It was constructed very well. Everybody in attendance was very professional, and I appreciated it so much, which is why so much networking was able to be done. And if you didn't get a chance to attend, I hope that you'll come out next year, because it was a phenomenal time for me. So I know that as long as you are in the media space, or you want to be, and you have all your ducks in a row. And when I say ducks in a row, have your business cards ready. Make sure your websites are all green to go. At least your Instagrams, at least your social sites at the minimum, because these people are top tier. They're ready now. They're up and operating, and they're all about business, which is why I wanted to show up today with my little business suit on and give y'all some business energy. But moving right along. So, yeah, you don't have to agree with your guests in order to be respectful. And I'm somebody who is intentionally genuine and not confrontational. So when I say that, somebody might say something like, well, I had to get my lick back, and that's just what I had to do. And I may not feel so how do I want to say this? I may not feel so motivated to interrupt and say, well, I don't think that was the right thing that you should have did, opposed to just letting them finish their story and carrying it out. And because I do want to get more out of my audience, I don't want to like poke them or prod them in order to get that. But I do want to do what it takes to dive a little deeper when it comes to my questioning, because it's a difference between interrogation and questioning. And I'm gentle, I'm soft. We don't do that here. This is for growth. This is for life lessons. And these are real stories. And we don't play. We open, but we guarded. We OGs. We don't play like that. You got to be careful with us, all right? Because we still healing. So moving on to what I'm actually changing moving forward regarding Openly Guarded, and just giving you guys better content and showing up more for you and for this platform that I want to grow into such an amazing space for all of us to share. I am going to be doing more reels, and I've done them, and I hope that you enjoy them. I hope that I'm not burning you out, because in my mind, I'm like, whoa. But for the ones that are liking and sharing and commenting and showing up every Friday and throughout the week with the rollout, I am so grateful for you. You are the reason why I go on. You inspire me so much to keep going and just being honest and telling my truth and just reaching out to people that I think are good fits for what we got going on right now. Yeah. So shout out to the future. But more reels for you guys. Better storytelling. I want to do educational content. I want to have better guest research. I would like to have more consistency for y'all. So those are the things that I'm trying to bring, and I've already began to bring to y'all moving forward with this platform as I give you the word of the day, the movie of the day, the book of the day. And I'm contemplating on the song of the day, but I'm really not trying to overload my ship. But y'all know that when we bring this season 1 to a close, I'm going to give y'all my playlist. And it's really just a cheat sheet of all the songs we've been using for our reels and our posts and our stories, because y'all been telling me that they make y'all day better. So, and they make my day better. That's why I choose them. Shout out to the algorithm. Shout out to everybody who is following all of the platforms and subscribed. Like I said, I love you, and I hope I'm not burning you out. This is what I have to do to reach these other channels so they take me serious. But shout out to the girl Seven. Seven was another young woman that I got to get a little brief message about what she had going on while she was getting interviewed at Upscale Magazine. Like I said, shout out to Upscale Magazine. They let me come behind the scenes a little bit so I could learn a little bit. So it was a great experience with them as well. And when she was sitting with them, she was basically expressing how you can make money at home from your phone. You don't even really have to leave your house. If you have a phone and you have Wi-Fi you can be making seven figures. So shout out to her, and I'll definitely add her in a little clip for y'all, so that way y'all can find her, because she's very knowledgeable, she's very wise, and shout out to her. She is gorgeous, okay? Drop dead in person, okay? I was like, oh my goodness, celebrities are there. And I don't even get down like that, but it's more so about her energy as a person. Like, she's here giving out the sauce. She took out the time, and yeah, her presence is very welcoming. So shout out to her and the time she gave to the summit this year. It was awesome having her, and I'm sure moving forward they'll have a lot more guests for us to check out. But they had 7. They had ET. This was day 1. They had 2 days. I made it to day 1, and day 2 I had to do some more media stuff, so I didn't get to see as many people on stage. But they had the Young Lady 7, they had ET, we had DDG, and of course we had David. So I got to absorb all of their knowledge for what they were offering that day, and I learned a lot. I implored a lot in my content in our Openly Guarded podcast so far, so I really hope that you enjoy it. And my biggest takeaway from visiting the summit was success is not an accidental thing. It's something that you purposely pursue, and it is a continuous commitment. It's a continuous, lifelong commitment. And the people that I met that day are successful because they continue learning. They never limit the level of how much information they put into their minds. And I noticed all of them have that in common, whether it's attending conventions or just podcast events or anything where media is circulating and professional and just moving forward in the game. They're going to be there. So it's like, you know, you can do it too. It's as simple as taking your craft as serious as you need to. Question that I want to ask you: what is one way you want to invest in yourself this year? What is something that you want to take serious? What's something you want other people to take you serious for? Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate y'all kicking it with me here in the garden. You know, this is a place where we talk about real life, real growth, and real stories. And I am your host, and forever will always be your host, Dimples. And I just want to say thank you for kicking it with me and spending this time and allowing me to give you what I got, because I have to invest in me if I expect you guys to invest in yourself. So until next time, peace. Okay, am I looking real professional right now? So, how do I sound? I sound all right? Let's get it in. Do I look real business? Okay. And if I'm giving real business right now, that's what I want to give. That's what I want to give. So I'm going to button this up because that's what I wanted. Thing was impact, influence. Oh, sorry. Thing was create an impact. Why do I keep saying it that way? Dude, how do you pronounce his name? You on fire tonight, babe. Okay. The privilege of listening to
Put your hands up.